Yeah.
Blank
Yeah,
Beats
yeah, yeah.
Production.
Hey, yeah. I ain't never been a fucking bitch. I don't wanna talk, I'm just trying to stay lit. I'm trying to get a grip, why you gotta throw a fit? You can suck up on a dick for a fucking outfit. Why you gotta be a bitch? I ain't gonna buy you shit. We can light up like a big, we can drink until we sick. I could die at 26, but I ain't gonna switch. I just woke up in a ditch, I just woke up in a, yeah. Let me go crazy, let me go hard. Ta, you fucking retard. Christy so high, she be chillin' in the stars. I don't need air, I be smoking no cigars. I be chillin' at these bars. I should never drive a car, cause I'm drinking fucking hard, man. I'm drinking fucking hard. This is my podcast, welcome to the show. Come and have a drink, ain't nobody gotta know. Yeah. Alcoholics Anonymous. Yeah. Welcome. Hi guys, welcome to Alcoholics Anonymous. I have my guest Butch here. So,
Howdy.
so Butch, no, I'm just kidding, dude. You know, I had this thought the other day. It's like if you steal one thing, like that didn't really necessarily make you a thief for the rest of your life. Like people aren't gonna label you that, right? Maybe send one nude to your girlfriend or something. That doesn't mean that you're a fucking porn star. Like no one's gonna refer to you as that. Like, but you fuck one horse. People are going to refer to you as horse fucker for the rest of your life, dude. Did you ever think about that kind of shit?
I don't know anything about being a horse fucker.
What do you mean?
But I do know, if you have the keys to every lock, you're a locksmith. But if every lock has a key to it, it makes you a whore.
Okay. Oh. Yeah, okay, so there's one question I ask every single one of my guests, and it's what kind of drunk are you, and when did you have your first drink?
What kind of drunk am I?
Yeah. And that might depend on what you drink, you know what I mean? So let's say what kind of drunk are you when you drink whiskey?
Whiskey?
Yeah.
I'm a good drunk. Man, nothing too explorative up until, but if you're talking whiskey, I mean Fireball. Well, that comes drunk, Butch.
Oh, fuck, really?
Other than that,
Is that bad? I mean, I've seen you drink Fireball. It's not a pretty sight, dude.
of course, anybody get that drunk, not a pretty sight.
I mean, yeah. I mean, dude, fucking Fireball is like trouble for me when I drink it. It is. I blacked out. Did I ever tell you about the story? I blacked out at a restaurant drinking Fireball because someone that I may or may not have been working with kept ordering me shots.
Really?
And I'm not gonna say when and where this was. Is that a Chili's? But
Out of Chile, of course.
I know I talked about that in my last podcast, and I was like, it was a very family friendly restaurant. They go, what restaurant? Just whisper it in my ear, and
Chili's.
I go, fucking Chili's, like right into the mic.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, man.
See, most whiskeys, no problem.
Yeah.
But Fireball.
That's a one.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even consider that like an actual whiskey.
I would agree.
It's like a sweetened blended fucking alcohol.
It's a drunkard's whiskey, I would say.
Yeah.
Something like drunkards.
I would say
got their-
college kid whiskey for sure.
I would agree. I mean, drunkards got their cheap vodka.
Yeah.
College kids have their drunk whiskey, which I mean,
I feel like cheap tequila is more like fucking college kids. Like I don't know, man. What do I do? I never went to fucking college, so. Okay, so with whiskey you're good. What about vodka? You an asshole on vodka? Like what is your?
I did my time.
What
in
do you
vodka.
not touch? Like what is your thing that you just won't fuck with?
Any more cheap, under $10 vodka? Popov, Heavenly Hills, stuff like that. I did my shit in college.
Popov is like considered like one of the best tasting vodkas from like vodka sommeliers.
Really?
They said it was the best, and then they blind taste tested it with like expensive ones, and then they picked Popov, and it was like $10 fucking plastic bottle. So okay,
you're
what
100%
was?
right. You're 100% right. Because I had my share in college of cheap whiskey.
In Ohio, right? Like we live in Ohio. Like I've known you for a while, but
I would I would say cheap Popov, not whiskey. My bad, vodka. That shit, it's good. It's cheap enough for a college kid to have. I mean, I did my time there. I mean, not saying anything too extreme.
What?
But I mean, a couple handles of cheap plastic Popov whiskey a night, maybe like
vodka?
Oh,
Yeah.
shit,
Okay,
not
like
that
let me
bad.
ask you a question.
Yeah.
Was there a certain event that made you like fuck vodka? Like I'm done with it. Like,
Yeah.
okay, let's hear about it.
100%. So my buddy's 23rd birthday. We got probably, I would say, seven handles, 7 plastic bottles of Popov. We're all broke as hell at the time. Couldn't buy much more than that. We all agreed. 2 p.m. we hit the pool up on this hotel room. Top of the hotel, big ass pool, nothing more. By the time we hit the 3rd bottle, it was probably like 4 o'clock, so about 2 hours in. Long story short, let's just say buddy's girlfriend comes in, not too happy. I'm totally gone, passed out on a chair. I happened to fall back on my chair, straight on my back, and this girl happens to dump a whole bottle of Popov on my face. I don't know if
Why did she pour it on your face?
she wasn't happy that I was asleep, which doesn't make much sense looking back in it. But drunk bitches be drunk bitches. But if you've ever felt the feeling of being waterboarded, I would say that's as close as possible. Being waterboarded with gasoline is a bottle
Dude,
of
I can only imagine that shit getting in your nose, your eyes, like down your throat, your mouth and shit. Like, fuck, dude, it'd be like fucking jet fuel, like down your face. Fuck that shit.
It sure felt like that. It was probably a half a bottle of Popov poured straight on my face. Of course, totally gone, asleep on my back in a chair. But I woke up pretty damn fast.
Yeah.
I'll say that. There was no if, and, or buts about being asleep after that. After that, we woke up, hopped into the Skyline pool that we're staying at this hotel, and more so a college retreat than a hotel. A bunch of friends of ours, we stayed in this apartment complex. Real strict up there in Ohio, how they are. And we stayed up on this giant pool up top. Just happened to pass out. Was not a bad time, but a worse experience.
Yeah, I got you. Okay, what about your first drink? Let's talk about that. When did you have your first drink? And that you enjoyed? Like, I'm not talking like, oh, my dad left his rum and coke on the fucking counter
First
and took a
drink
sip
that
of it. Like, fuck.
that I enjoyed.
Yeah.
I'll say that I remembered. I was probably about 15.
Okay.
I'll say this. My cousin graduated from Navy class, or whatever you want to call it. He was stationed, did his basics out in the West Coast. Went up, he worked on jet planes. So up in the Northwest, they did all that stuff. He came back after his basics. So we had a big family gathering.
Was this immediate family or
Yeah.
just okay?
I mean, immediate family plus all the drunken
So, like,
uncles.
Your mom and dad and everyone was there. Yeah.
Mom and dad drunk. I was probably about 15.
Yeah.
Had the whole family there. I have a taste of this fruit punch at the time. I mean, I grew up on this family farm that
Fucking fruit punch.
that we all stayed at. And this is where we had the party. Lots of family members. Little did 15-year-old I know that the fruit punch happened to not be fruit punch, but jungle juice.
Jungle juice. Okay.
So that involves Malibu whiskey, or not so much as much whiskey, but Everclear.
Basically, a lot of clear liquors, right? With like fucking fruit and like
vodka,
soda, and all
of it.
kinds of weird shit.
All of it. It just basically whatever them old boys put in their fruit punch. They thought they tasted better.
Yeah. Like, hey, Ricky, you think we got a gasoline can out in the fucking shed? Let's fucking mix it up. Serve it to the children.
Some greasy shit. A lot of greasy shit.
Oh, it's okay.
And
You had this fruit punch, and
so
what happened,
I take my first fruit punch, and I'm sitting on the family farm. We had a swing, I would say.
Okay, yeah, swing.
A tire swing.
Tire swing.
That's
Gotcha.
what I'm trying
Gotcha.
to
Fuck
say.
yeah, dude.
Tire swing, and we were swinging when I was younger, and I'm take a big old goller of that what I thought to be fruit punch. Had the first one. Second one. By the third one, I realized, well, shit, I couldn't get off the tire swing, and I totally backflipped, face down into the dirt. I was like, oh shit, I don't feel too well. And my old man came up and was like, what's wrong? I said, I don't feel too good. That fruit punch kind of tastes sour. And then I got my first lesson in, well, son, that ain't fruit punch. That's what you call jungle juice. And ever since then, I've been hooked.
There you go, man. That's awesome. So, like, were your parents mad at you?
My father, not too much. I knew it was incident. Not a big deal.
Yeah.
But my mother,
She fucking had it
she
through
was
a fit.
not too happy about that.
Yeah.
Of course, her firstborn being a 15-year-old.
Hey, lean to the mic a little bit.
15-year-old being totally drunk off
Yeah.
of jungle juice, full of Everclear and
I
whatnot.
mean, if you really didn't know, then you really didn't know. You know what I mean?
I'm glad I know now because that shit ain't too bad.
So that was your first like real experience with drinking.
First
And-
experience that I know to be accidental but a lasting effect.
Yeah. I was 11 years old when I had my first experience.
11.
11 years old. There's a family member that I will not name. I'm very close to. He was close to me at the time, and just said, "Hey, when my mom and dad, fall asleep, he said, hey, you should just come and hang out with me and my buddies, and maybe I'll give you a drink." And I was like, you know me, like I'm trying to impress my older brother. So
This is how old?
fuck, I just said his name. My fucking older. I was 11 years old.
Upstanding character, I imagine. Upstanding.
11 years old, man. And, like, I'm not gonna lie. He gave me one beer. I completely got fucked up. It was, Butch, it was at a house where my Nana, it was like I lived in my uncle's house at the time, and then my Nana lived in a separate house.
And this is Southwest Ohio,
And
right?
it's in Spring Branch, Ohio. Yeah.
Oh, Spring Branch.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
Spring Branch, Ohio, you know what I mean? So, and so basically, my parents fell asleep and I ran over to this little church on this property where my Nana and my older brother lived, and, you good?
Yeah.
Okay, and basically, him and his friends were outside smoking cigarettes, and it was more like a malt beer, so it was
Heavy.
It was a big beer. It was at least a 24 ounce, and then and it was a heavy beer. It was like something a fucking homeless man would buy if he had like $4 in his
Somebody
pocket.
gave him change on
And
the side of the
he'd
road.
get a buzz off of it, definitely.
Yeah,
And I got fucked up, and I woke up the next day, and I was like, I gotta do that again. And ever since, I've been chasing the dragon, man. It impacted my life for the rest of my life, even up to when I was in high school, when my older brother was in jail a lot of the times. I got so desperate sometimes to get drunk because I was so depressed and bored. I would make wine from Welch's grape juice and yeast packets with sugar.
Now, did you put them in your attic?
I did,
That's the way to do it.
and under my bed, because it got hot under my bed. I had drawers under my bed, so I really, I mean, man, that's pretty sad that I got so used to. I like drinking so much that when I got depressed or bored, I'd be like, oh man, how do I make my own alcohol? Because I can't get anyone to fucking buy it for me. You know what I mean? That's fucked up. So I mean, I really feel like as an 11-year-old, I should not have been introduced to alcohol at such a young age. But it is what it is.
I mean, I can't blame you. A lot of growing up was centered around alcohol. As
Yeah.
being a young kid, nothing too extreme until I got into my teenage years.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember going to Columbus as a kid,
Mm-hmm.
and
Is your non-alcoholic mojito good?
my non-alcoholic mojito is excellent.
Listen, you know what? Like, what I'm really proud about us is we can tell all these drinking stories, but you and I've been both sober for what, like 2-3 years now, and like,
I would say AA is the best thing. I've
yeah,
ever
man.
done.
Like, you know, like I love that last meeting we went to. It was really cool.
I mean, the AA out in Westerville.
Ohio.
I mean,
Ohio.
Ohio, should I say?
Not very technical.
Wasn't.
Yeah.
I mean, it was good. Nothing too bad. They hit a lot of key points.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of life lessons
Uh-huh.
that I now see as crooked. Nothing too
the AA?
hardcore. Yeah.
Hey, you know what? How about this? You and I should just relapse tonight.
I mean, personally, I've gotten over it. I've been a year and a half sober out of college, doing that kind of stuff. But
Whoa. There's a discrepancy in what I just said. I just said you and I were both 2 or 3 years sober, and you just said a year and a half. So have you slipped up since then?
I mean, year and two, nothing too dramatic. As long as you don't get back on the train. I mean,
You can hop on the wagon, but you just can't get back on the train.
as long as the wagon is wet, the train is dry. That's all I gotta say.
That's the fucking stupidest thing I've ever heard anyone say.
Well, if anybody who knows, they know.
Okay. I may or may not have seen a picture of you and your dad recently. What the fuck did y'all kill, dude?
So we were down south. We're about Texas way. We took a little plane trip. We had a buddy who was a
Plane trip.
Yeah, right. We had a neighbor who lived South Texas.
Okay.
He called us up the other night. He's an exotic guide. So basically, if anybody doesn't know, exotics are animals brought over from usually Africa, brought into Texas in the early 40s and 50s in the 1900s. Brought into not just obviously African game, or maybe not
Yeah.
obviously. African game has some of the highest meat potential. It was a great way for people in the 1900s to get a lot of meat off of one animal.
Yeah.
Versus, I mean, whitetail, which are native to most of the United States,
Ooh, that's good.
compared to mule deer and such forth. I mean, so we went down south. We went near the border, down in South Texas, and we had the chance to shoot a scimitar oryx.
Is that what y'all shot?
A scimitar oryx.
It's scimitar orc. What the fuck
Scimitar,
is-
like
the fucking things
So-
with like half human, half. That's a
no, that's a
scimitar. That's what
no,
it's called.
That's a minotaur. It's
A
half-
minotaur. Oh, okay.
Minotaur
fuck,
is
okay.
half bull, half man. Scimitar is what you would call a Mediterranean or Eastern, which now be Middle Eastern sword that is curved.
Yeah.
Has a-
Oh, I know the fucking Arabians have them, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fuck
they're
yeah,
curved.
dude. The fucking Arabs.
Those curved swords. Can't get over them. Curved swords. And so these animals from Africa, lower to Central Africa, they are about the body size of a I wouldn't say too much smaller than a horse, but I would say 3/4 size of a horse.
Okay.
Massive, upwards to 300 pounds, depending if you get a bull or a female.
Okay, yeah.
And they upwards, the price is all different depending where you go.
Yeah.
Farther north you go, the more expensive, just because they're more hospitable to lower climates like Africa and such
Yeah.
forth. And we had the chance of going to my old man.
Yeah.
Had the chance of his buddy, who was one of our neighbors, being a guide in South Texas. He got the chance of shooting one.
That's fucking
And,
badass, dude.
It's excellent.
No, I saw that fucking picture, dude. It was like fucking crazy. I saw that fucking picture. I was like, you and your dad. Fuck. I was like, holy shit, dude. What the fuck did you shoot? Like, I was.
It looks like a dinosaur.
I was fucking tripped out. I was like, that's not in fucking Ohio. Oh, dude. Well, some of my favorite stories you've ever told me are when you and your dad went to Mexico with the twins and everybody, the twins in Ohio. Dude, tell me just a story from fucking Mexico.
I'll tell you a story, and it's the most basic story. If you've ever had a trip in Mexico,
I had my honeymoon in
Yeah.
Mexico. You missed you and I were in Mexico at the same time, but you missed my
were in
fucking
Mexico.
wedding, motherfucker.
Yeah. That was the year me and my frat brothers, we all finished college, so we took a trip out to Mexico.
Yeah.
Went to Cozumel. Got a good place out there in an Iberostar.
Did y'all stay in that area in Mexico? Or did y'all move around a little bit?
We stayed out in the resort in Mexico, the Iberostar in Cozumel.
Can I ask you a question
Yeah,
about the
go ahead,
resort?
Go ahead.
Okay, so the resort, was there like armed fucking guards
Yes.
around the resort?
There was armed guards in the front of the resort. So we flew down to Texas. From Texas, we left from JFK International Airport. From there, we flew into some place in Mexico, I guess, and then we took another plane into Cozumel, Mexico.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude.
And we landed. We hopped on the transit. Got into the bus after doing much. I mean, they searched us, but nothing like American standards. Mainly searching for drugs and, believe it or not, fruit.
Oh yeah, they don't like fruit going across
Yes.
borders at all, man.
Not
They're
at all.
fuck. It's even the worst the other way around. Like they do not want
Yes.
any fruit coming
When we
from
left,
fucking Mexico, dude.
We could not have grapes, carrots,
Avocados, anything like
Avocados,
that, man.
anything
Fuck
like
yeah.
that. But we landed in Cozumel. Hopped on the first transit, got us a bus to our Iberostar,
Yeah.
and I would say we were about 5 minutes in to the bus ride, leaving the the airport. We hit our first corner store, which this is only I would say our third trip to Mexico.
Yeah.
And nothing was quite like this. We got probably 30 minutes outside the hotel room, and we stopped. And all of us, being from America, very confused. Like usually would bring us to the hotel room and
Yeah.
such forth. But no, we stopped at a corner station, and they all asked, "Do you want a Dos Equis?"
No shit. At a fucking gas station? No shit.
No,
Oh.
it wasn't. It
It
wasn't
was a corner
quite-
store.
It wasn't even a corner store. I would say it was a straight wall, and behind the wall was a lady,
Yeah.
and all she had was 6-packs on 6-packs on 6-packs of Dos Equis.
That's fucking nuts.
And the whole wall was lined up with Dos Equis.
That's all she had was
All she had.
fucking Dos Equis. Yeah.
Dos Equis and Modelo. That's all she carried.
I like Dos Equis way better than Modelo. I don't know about you, man.
Oh, Dos Equis all the way.
dude.
I mean, when I'm with my Guatemalan friends, I mean, Modelo Negro all the way.
You know, fucking your friend with the shakes.
Yeah, my
Yeah,
friend with the shakes.
your friend with the shakes. I've seen that dude drink so many fucking Modelos that I'm like, fuck you, bro. Like, do you want to
Never.
add anything to your non-alcoholic mojito?
My mojito is just great.
Okay, cool. Just making sure.
But
bro.
as I continue, so we hit up. I call her Miss Garcia because I believe that was her name,
Miss Garcia.
and that's very generic. But I do believe that was her name.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Miss Garcia hooked us up in the transit bus.
Yeah.
We rolled about another 20 minutes
Uh-huh.
to another corner store. I wouldn't even call it a corner store. I
It
would
was just
say it was a
fucking
hole
like
in the wall.
a hole in the wall. Fuck
a
yeah.
literal hole in the wall. Like it was.
It's
a
kind of like
wall.
a food truck, but in a fucking building, right? Like, they just have a
Yeah.
little window and they
It
fuck, yeah, man.
Exactly. A
Yeah.
food truck in a building, and got another case of Dos Equis
Yeah.
and Modelo such, and we rolled into the hotel.
Hey, can y'all just drink in the car? Like, they're
Yes.
fucking cool with it?
No worries in the world.
No fucking way.
They encouraged it.
Well, yeah, because I mean, you're helping their
Because,
economy.
yeah.
Dude, you're playing your
Nothing-
part.
Hey,
you're,
as
you're
a
playing
tourist, you buy as much beer and much drinks as you can.
It's
as
helping
long as
them. That's helping them, man.
I
yeah.
mean, for what it was, like 10 something dollars a peso at U.S. currency, and it was,
How many pesos for a fucking 6-pack?
it couldn't be more than $4 or $5 US, if
No
that.
way.
So a 6-pack was maybe $4.
if you get the drinks at the resorts, they're the same
Oh,
price they would be
I-
at fucking America, dude.
Yeah, so
because,
let
ugh.
me finish.
Yeah.
So we
sorry to
rolled
interrupt
in
you.
right after that. We rolled into the
Yeah.
establishment. Hadn't checked in. They had no idea who we were.
Oh shit.
Walked out with full shots, full margaritas, everything.
Yeah.
Every kind of drink you could imagine that was a shot form.
Yeah.
Full service from the second you walked into the building to the second you stop off the bus. So it has been an hour, I would say about an hour since we stepped off the bus.
Yeah.
Absolutely hammered.
No shit.
I
probably
would
had
say
8 beers in, probably. What?
I would say 8 beers, maybe 4 shots by the time.
Fuck.
By
That's
the
just
time
from the
we-
plane to the fucking hotel.
By the time we hit the concierge desk, and by the time we fully checked in and they gave us our key cards to our rooms, I was probably like, yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, they probably a little hammered, right?
Very hammered.
It's a trip because when I did my honeymoon, I got off the plane and then there was like the valet service to take us to our resort, and before I got on the van, they fucking gave me a shot of tequila. It's kind of the same thing. It's like fuck yeah, dude. Like, it was cool.
It was excellent.
Yeah.
I wish America was like that.
I honestly, dude,
I
I wish
wish
I got,
they gave
I wish I
shots
got,
all day long.
I wish I got married a year later so that I can go on that trip with y'all. Man, I think I would have had a lot of fun with y'all.
But you got married. We had our senior trip, and I was very conflicted. I was gonna have my final year of college,
Yeah,
or when you and your wife got married,
yeah.
and it just happened to be that I booked that trip about 3 months in advance, and it just.
And like, I did not send out any invitations.
was-
Like, I should have sent out an invitation a
should've.
year before. But
Hey, family's family.
you know
you
what?
have your
What
family
would have been
first,
cool?
and then me.
What would have
I
been?
understand.
This is how it should have happened. I should have sent out a year and a half before invitations to you, and we should have fucking partied in Hawaii, and then flew into Mexico together, and then we went on our separate ways. That should have would have happened. You know what I mean?
Shoulda, coulda, woulda, brother.
Yeah,
Coulda,
no,
coulda,
but you know that was my bad because I was so stressed out about the whole. I was broke as fuck when I got married, and I didn't tell any. I told 3 people. I told
Really?
your mother, I told Momo and Nana, and I didn't invite anyone else. I fuck everyone. I didn't invite Uncle Don, Aunt Dot in Ohio. I didn't invite fuck everyone. I was just like fuck everyone. Like, they're either gonna give me too much shit for having to fly out to fucking Hawaii because it's expensive, and they're not gonna fucking show up. I didn't invite any of my old friends. Like, I don't have friends really, so like fuck them.
Hey, that's why we're friends.
I know, fuck yeah, man.
AA all day.
I wish we were cousins or something. I wish we were related,
Yeah,
dude.
right.
Fuck, dude.
Hey, you are my brother. AA,
I know, hey.
Hey, AA all the way, brother.
AA all the way, man. Fuck
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
What did you think of that fucking that shit about Abbott talking about how he wanted to start the cops to start profiling fucking cars that looked like they were going to be illegal immigrants? Did you hear about that shit?
I did.
What did you think about it?
I think anything outside our Bill of Rights is illegal, non-constitutional. I personally, as this is my stance,
Yeah.
as being a northerner, those southerners, they have some sense of ideas.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
truly believe. I mean, as living in a place that I agree that we should be inclusive and whatnot.
Yeah. Definitely, man.
I believe that Abbott is unjust in the fact that Abbott being the governor of Texas at this moment in time,
Yeah, man.
there should be no profiling. Nothing
That's
like
illegal. It's straight up illegal. You can't
It is
profile
straight-
someone because, like, could you imagine if one of our Mexicano friends or whatever you want to call them, our friends of color, if they just got pulled over for no reason and like, oh, you look like a fucking illegal immigrant. Like, can I see your papers? Like that kind of thing. It's kind of fucked, dude.
Now, don't quote me on this. I believe that's our Fourth or Fifth Amendment. And you shouldn't be able to ask people that.
No, and even those checkpoints near borders are fucking. Have you ever been across one? Because I have.
When I went to shoot that Scimitar Orcs, we crossed one down. I forget the name, by San Antonio or Laredo, somewhere down there. We crossed one, and I will say, gentlemen were nice as hell, the nicest people you ever meet. But I wouldn't want to be doing their job, having to
ask people if they're fucking
if they're true citizens. I mean, that feels degrading, but at the same time,
dude, did I ever tell you?
I agree with him.
Did I ever tell you about that period of my life that I worked in? Okay, so I got to tell you about this. I used to work in the fiber optic industry.
Really?
Down near Laredo.
No way.
Like literally, like not far from San Antonio. I used to live in San Antonio, near San Antonio, in a small town. But I used to work. I used to have to go out of town for work in the fiber optic industry, and I worked with these Cuban guys. I mean, when I say Cuban, I mean they came on a fucking homemade raft from Cuba to Florida and made their way down to Texas. Yeah. And I was talking to this one guy who's fucking badass guy, and he didn't. There was someone in the car that spoke Spanish, and he would translate. And I said, like, what was your journey like from Cuba to Florida, and then from Mexico? How'd you end up here? And he told me. He said, well, me and 6 guys went and to make that trip, and he said only 5 of us made it back.
Wow.
And I was like, fuck. I was like, what happened? If you don't mind me asking. And he said, well, we had 3 rafts. There was like a couple guys on each raft, and then the third raft for the food. And what they would do is they'd hop in the water, swim over to the food. Mm-hmm. And he was saying that 2 of his buddies hopped in the water, fucking sharks snatched him up, like fuck ate him in front of him,
My God.
Everything. And he looked at me like, and like he had like a tear in his eye, because like I don't know like what Spanish, I don't know how it sounds in Spanish, but like I could just tell the deep emotion he fucking felt, and I was just like, fuck, like, and I'm this white kid fucking just working with y'all, probably making more than you, and I'm like, fuck, dude, it fucked me up a little bit, but yeah, man, I mean that shit is fucking crazy, and like, you know, oh man,
intense.
It's fucking intense, and then but you know what I am excited for? You know, McConaughey might fucking go for fucking the governor of Texas.
I heard about that.
I'd vote for him.
I'd vote for him as well.
I fucking love that guy. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, he's killer. I believe.
You don't like McConaughey?
I do. I
do.
McConaughey, I feel like I believe he has a sense of the younger youth of Texas.
Yeah.
Versus much other. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I love Abbott.
Hold on. No, but honestly, about that, no, man, like, I don't know. I think McConaughey would do a fucking great job, dude. You know what I mean?
I mean, personally, this is my opinion, nothing more, nothing less. I feel McConaughey is just trying to I don't know what the quite word is, but adjust to his fan base.
You think
Personally, so? McConaughey loved in Austin and such forth. But personally, I don't believe McConaughey knows what he's doing. I believe McConaughey.
He's just a movie star, so
I mean, he is that Hollywood elite.
Well, dude, he's a little fucking hippy dippy. Let's be fucking real with that. Okay, yeah,
I don't,
he's fucking hippy dippy.
If you've ever seen Dazed and Confused, some of early films.
All right. But you like him as a person, at least.
Love him.
Okay, but
all day long.
But like as a politician, you're
as
just
a
like,
politician,
fuck that.
I would say he's in the same boat as Arnold Schwarzenegger was in California.
I heard he fucked California up, dude.
I don't know nothing about that, but I do know
I do.
the values of Texas versus what Matthew McConaughey and his following does. And Matthew McConaughey does great things. He did a live stream charity and a podcast for Texas during the winter storm. I couldn't support that more. Could not support that more.
Yeah.
All day long. I donated
Doesn't charge.
plenty of money to McConaughey's. I forget the name. I don't want to misquote it. But anybody who's listening should donate to McConaughey's charity for Texas. 100% agree. But I don't believe.
Let's get this straight. You fucking hate him as a politician. Like, just fuck that dude and his politics. Like that.
I think that he does not have Texans' heart as mine more than
his fan bases.
more than him having a positive fan base.
Okay, I mean, fucking fair enough.
I mean, that's your opinion. That's versus my opinion. But I personally think McConaughey has ulterior motives other than supporting Texan lives and Texas bases.
Yeah.
I mean, all the way. I'll support his Texas foundations, but vote for governor doesn't have my vote anyway.
Okay. Fuck politics. Let's just fuck that shit.
I agree.
Okay, fuck that shit. I
Fuck
should
politics.
never have brought politics up. So, another thing I'd really like to fucking hear from you. Tell me some of the fucking craziest spring break stories. Dude, fucking the craziest fucking shit. Like,
Crazy.
that's what I want to fucking hear.
Well, I got a lot of stories. I went to spring break many years, many different places down on the beach. From Port Aransas, South Padre, etc., Matamoros. Well, I'll say one thing. Matamoros isn't what it was back in the 90s or 80s. Wouldn't recommend going there. That's all I got to say about that.
I've never heard of that place.
Matamoros?
Never fucking heard of it.
That's a good damn thing. Matamoros died in the 80s as soon as the cartel became a thing.
Oh, shit. Is that
I mean,
like the
I
cartels involved and shit?
went to school with a kid who went down there around Matamoros. Owed a lot of money to a lot of different people.
Fuck.
I'll say a lot of different people.
When you say people, like what, like cartel people? That
A lot of
a lot of questionable fucking
a lot
beings.
of questionable people who I don't want to talk about. But let's just say disappeared off the coast right outside of Matamoros.
Okay, good guy, gotcha.
Ended up floating in the Gulf of Matamoros. Big deal in my hometown.
Fuck.
Nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, dude,
Don't owe money to people you can't pay back.
I fucking agree with that.
I
Dude,
was-
one of the craziest stories I heard. Didn't one of your friends get fucking drugged at like a fucking spring break? Like, can you tell me like his like you were telling me about this that like what did he tell you?
I'll say this: it wasn't some guy, it wasn't some place, it wasn't something.
Okay.
It was yours truly. I was down there in South Padre.
Yeah.
It was must have been 2016, 2017.
Okay.
Way before our whole COVID shit came down.
Fuck that shit.
Just craziness. Long after the 80s, burning cars, such like. Because now you go on the beach, you can park at a certain area, such like. Back in the day, you could park your car, your station wagon, whatnot, anywhere you want. But now you have certain exclusions where you can park your car, such not. But one year, we go down there. I think it was 2016. I was a sophomore in college, maybe
Fuck yeah.
freshman, sophomore. We go down there, St. Patty's Day. Couldn't tell you the date, couldn't tell you the year. Probably 2017, I had to guess.
Yeah.
We went down there. Buddy of mine has a house down there. We pregame the hell because beach time is from.
What's your pregame? Like break me through it. Like fucking beers, like shots. What the
No.
fuck?
Back in those days were the Popov days. Popov. So I mean, three handles of Popov
Each, or just like all split it.
Oh, I mean, I would say for every 4 people, we'd have probably 4 bottles of Popov.
Oh, don't
I mean,
tell me
straight.
that. That's like a bottle each, dude.
I would say close to little less than a bottle each. I mean, but that was for pregame. And by the time we got down there, we got to the Tito's and whatnot.
Dude, Gino's is like an actually good vodka.
Excellent. Oh, an excellent vodka. Because the time we got down to the beach, meet some hot senoritas, and guess what? They don't drink Popov. They drink Tito's. They drink Heavenly Hills or not
Jose
even
Cuervo, fucking whatever.
Exactly.
Patron.
Exactly. They drink.
Have you ever bought a bottle of Patron? You know how fucking expensive that shit.
Super
Fuck
expensive.
that shit.
But them Hispanics love that. They couldn't drink enough of that down there.
The Jose Cuervo and the fucking Patron
Jose
and shit.
Cuervo and Patron. I mean, I had a lot of buddies whose parents grew up in Mexico, come down, enter the border, and they just die for it.
Yeah.
Just absolutely
shit.
died for it. By the
Do
time,
you like Jose Cuervo?
I mean, personally, I'm a big whiskey guy.
Yeah,
I mean-
whiskey's my thing too, but
I mean, now it's whiskey.
yeah.
I mean, cheap vodka is cheap vodka for a guy who's splitting between 20 guys,
You got to that point
5
yet?
or 6 bottles of vodka.
Have you fucking got to that point yet where you're drinking just like straight whiskey with ice or no?
Yeah.
Yeah,
of
okay.
course.
Like I've wondered if it's the same experience with drinking like a dark tequila on ice. Like, do you think it's fucking good? Like, I don't know. I'm not a big tequila guy. I am allergic to tequila actually. So like my face breaks out in hives.
Really?
I could drink fucking half a bottle of whiskey and I'm fine. I drink a shot of tequila. My face breaks out in fucking hives and
I got a buddy. His name's Felipe. I mean, never met a man on God's green earth that drinks more Patron.
he's got 2 fucking livers, doesn't he?
God damn, he'd call it 100 livers. Drink Patron from day up to day in.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen that man drink more Patron than I have water in a month.
No shit.
No problems. Wakes up every morning, runs an excavator, runs machinery
Yeah.
all day
Fuck
long.
yeah, dude.
Hey, but that's the work ethic.
He's got
And-
a great work ethic, probably.
I mean, as soon as it comes Saturday, though, the work ethic is nothing but Patron. But during the weekday, shit.
Dude, like I wonder how people drink that much and not end up like being a full blown alcoholic and like with the shakes and shit. You know what I mean?
I never said anything about that.
Does he
mean,
have that fucking problem? Does he drink on the weekdays? How about that? Like, does he?
So when he was
What's
younger,
his name? Felipe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Felipe Romero, baddest
In
mofo
Ohio.
I ever met. I mean, drink on the weekends, drink
Yeah.
during the days. I mean, no problems. Patron is his choice of drink.
It's expensive. You gotta have a good job to fucking afford Patron. Like,
Hey, you work those excavator,
you
digging
get paid
ditches,
great.
trenches. Hey, it's no problem. But there's no problem in that mentality of drinking Patron all night long, and then guess what? You wake up, you do your job, and guess what? That's a whole nother bottle of Patron.
yeah.
If you get the shakes, you cut your week's pay worth a month or two. All that means is you got more money in your pocket to sober up, take it easy. Give
Buy
it a
more
week.
Patron.
Yeah, give it a week. Give it a
yeah,
week
dude.
break, and then boom, more Patron. Not a problem in the world.
Yeah, man. Oh my god. No, fuck that though. This is jumping ahead of what I had to talk about, but I wanted to ask you this.
Oh, sorry about that.
No. I'm jumping ahead of what I wanted to talk about. So like, what would your dream like salary be? You think?
Dream salary?
Yeah, like how much? Like not, don't tell me like I would love to make $5 million a year. Fuck you, dude.
All
Like-
day, every day.
Like
Right.
comfortable salary you would like to make. For me, like I'd be pretty happy with $100 grand a year. You know, like I could you $100 grand a year can move mountains. You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah.
Shit. If I dream job, I mean, shit. I mean, selling land in the Upper Prospect or Woodland area of Ohio, kind of by Marion. I know.
Are you done with your mojito? You ready for another drink?
Yes, please.
Yeah, all right. Keep
Non-alcoholic, please.
Yeah.
I'm done with that shit.
Yeah.
Out by Marion, I mean, gorgeous land.
Really?
But I hear a lot about South Texas. I know we keep
Put
going.
a double shot of water in there for you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I hear a lot about South Texas, and I know a lot of people are moving out to South Texas. I mean, it's just not worth it. Texas doesn't have shit economy. I mean, they're all anti-mask, anti-such. I mean, just not worth.
Fuck off.
And just
I'm
not a
actually
place.
for that shit.
I mean, I agree, but at the same time, I don't think most people should go out there.
Try your non-alcoholic beverage. Tell me if you like it.
Not too bad.
I got this right off the non-alcoholic Crown Royal website. So
That's excellent. Like I said, South Texas, a bad economy.
okay, so how much money you be making out there then?
I wouldn't. Well, compared to Northern Ohio, compared to South Texas, I mean, Northern Ohio, a good classy income be $100,000 a year.
Yeah, I think.
I hear South Texas, they're pulling in $500,000 to $3.25 million.
No shit. Did you see my right vape weight? You have it?
No.
You're fucking fine. I mean, fuck $100,000. I think a year would be like a very comfortable living. Like,
But I mean, those people down in South Texas making $450,000 a year
you know,
to almost $1 million. I think that's just too much money for them. I don't hell no.
you're jabbing at someone right now, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm
you
jabbing.
fucking-
I'm
you
jabbing.
fucking jabbing, motherfucker.
Hey, South Texas is the way to go all day long.
You think so?
I mean, I know so. There's more people moving into South Texas than they know what to deal with. I believe from the influx of the southern border to the high prospects of cheap land and low taxes that it's just ridiculous how much money can be made in Texas.
It's
much
fucking
less.
cool though.
100%. I mean, it's a wealthy man's dream.
I bet. By the way, how does it feel to quit vaping? Like really? Like I mean, you might like bum a vape every once in a while, but like, dude, you told me that you quit vaping. I was like, fuck, dude.
Good.
It feels good.
100%. There's no more digging into pockets, thinking where is this, where is that. No
Dude,
more.
The worst is when you get too drunk and you lose your vape and you're looking everywhere for it.
Everywhere for it.
And then the next day when you're sober, you fucking find it. It's like right next to you.
That's the worst part is when you drink, the instant gratification of nicotine is next level.
Oh yeah.
It's if
Even
you
when
can
you're
be-
not drinking.
Even
Let's
when
be
you're
real.
not. I mean, especially when you're not drinking, but especially when you are drinking. Every sip requires
Fucking vape hit.
a hit of vape. Quitting that shit for 4 or 5 months is nice because you no longer have the dependency of wanting to hit it, looking for it,
Well-
needing it, much less dependency on it. Even if you want a fucking nicotine hit, as some people are right now, just hitting it is just not as it's not as satisfying as it was the first time, and every time after is never as satisfying as the first time.
Whenever I recently quit for 2 days and
2 days, mind you, 2 days.
2 days. No, 2 days. And I was freaking out for nicotine. And I was like, I'll have a cigarette to like get me by. I smoked like 5 cigarettes, and then I found an old vape pod, and I took one hit of that bitch, and it fucking cured whatever I was craving. I don't know if there's something extra in vapes that I'm craving, but dude, whatever it was, like 5 cigarettes could not satisfy my craving.
Well, I tell you what
It's
it is.
concentrated fucking nicotine is what it is.
What it
dude.
is cigarettes. Cigarettes, you get your nicotine, right?
Barely.
I mean, during work, whatnot, every let's just say every hour you get a 5-minute cigarette break. Well, that's every 5 minutes you want nicotine, or every hour you want nicotine
Yeah.
for 5 minutes. During vapes, guess what? You can hit that nonstop,
All day.
anytime, all day long. Nobody would notice. You can ghost it, whatnot. No problem. There will not be a problem if you hit nicotine, as long as you keep it concealed, and you can be on that nonstop.
Yeah.
Now, let's say you have cigarettes. You got the smell. You got the you
I
have the
hate smelling like cigarettes,
you
bro.
smell like cigarettes. You have the withdrawal effect. This is that, and that's just from nicotine itself. Now, don't get me wrong. If you have vapes, you can have withdrawal all day long. But guess what? You can hit a vape. Nobody will ever know. Nobody will ever see.
Yeah,
You can conceal it. I mean, we do that during college classes.
I knew this buddy of mine that worked at a courthouse. I forgot where he worked at a courthouse, but
What's the
so like I said, like I knew this buddy that worked at a courthouse, and dude, like he's able to just fucking go to the bathroom and fucking hit his vape, ghost it, no one knows. Yeah, it's fucking hilarious how that fucking shit works. But like, if you had to fucking have a cigarette, you have to go outside. I have to have like a 15-minute break. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a like, dude, vaping has just made nicotine access so easy. It's just fucking crazy. Yeah, oh my god. Hey, Kona.
You have it paused?
No, we're fucking talking.
That's a shame.
No, we're just fucking talking.
What were we talking about? Nicotine?
No, like I was just saying that like I had a buddy that worked at the courthouse and just go hit his vape in the bathroom and nobody fucking knows, and like he can just ghost it in the fucking he's sitting on a toilet. You know what I mean? Like
Ease of mind. Everything.
yeah, man, it's the fucking best. Like
Well,
especially when he's working with like
now they have
fuckheads
yeah
all day long, and then like
Well,
he just, yeah.
compared to now, they have nicotine, not like Copenhagen snuff or anything like that.
Well, so so like you've resorted to those fucking they're called Zens,
Yeah.
the Zens. I'm thinking about going back to that because I did that a little bit. You know, actually, what I do every time I've quit vaping several times. Every time that I quit, I buy a little can of what is the fucking cigarette company? Camel.
Crushes,
No, not Camel. No, not cigarettes. It's Camel
snuff.
and I get those
Snuff.
little pouches, and they're like candy to me. And I just, it's kind of like switching my brain to like I'm getting nicotine
And
instead of a vape, but through this way. And then it's like I can quit dipping because that's easy for me. But quitting vaping, it's so like I just kind of switch over, and then it's about a 5-day period where I'm an asshole to my fucking wife and everyone, and then it's like I'm good. But then what fucking happens is I get drunk about 5 months later, and someone I'm with is sitting there vaping, and I'm like, oh, can I have a hit of that? I get a fat buzz, and I fucking back at it again. You know what I mean? What did you say? What did you say earlier? And it was actually pretty profound. You're like, oh, no, I said that. Like we said this. Like you can get on the wagon, but don't get back on the train.
100%.
Like, you can hop off a wagon and fucking survive.
hack off. You can hop off a wagon and get back on. But guess what? As soon as you get off the train, ain't no way you're catching that.
No,
sandwich.
if you're on a let's think about this actually poetically. Like if you think about this, so if you're on a train, if you try to jump off, it's gonna you're gonna fuck yourself up. But then when the train comes to a stop and you have a conversation with yourself saying, it's time to quit, it's time to stop.
Once you hop off the wagon, all right, you can always hop back on.
Yeah.
But if you hop off the train, never get back on that train.
I think that's so true to also drinking. Like, okay, so if you're on a train.
Any addictive way, you can always hop off the wagon. But at the end of the day, you can get back on. But the train, Whether it's the cocaine train,
No,
or if it's the cocaine train, or if it's the nicotine train. Guess what?
or drinking train, whatever.
Drinking train, whatever you want to call it. It's hard enough to get back. It's easy to get on, but it's hard to get off.
I feel like that is the difference between having a bad habit
And addiction.
and an addiction. You know what I mean? Like when you're on the train, like you cannot stop it until something makes it stop. And then like, but when you're on the wagon, it's like, oh, like I drank 4 times this fucking week, and then like I need to cut back, and like you're able to control that. That's on the wagon. But on the fucking train, it's like, oh, fuck this, like I'm just never gonna stop. Like, and then until you get a fucking DUI, until you get a fucking X, Y, and Z, that's what really is the difference between being on the wagon or on the train. Like, and that's the first time I've ever actually seen that. What's up?
I agree. You're 100% right.
Yeah. Anyway. What is your best fucking? If you had to say like, the worst hangover I've ever had, like what is the best fucking hangover cure, dude?
The best hangover cure?
Yeah, fucking best hangover cure. Like I mean, like dude, you're fucking like you're about to die. Like I mean, like the worst hangover. Like let's talk about that. What is your worst fucking hangover you ever had?
Well, worst hangover or the best hangover cure? Because there's two differences. One's before you start drinking, and one's after you start drinking. Do you want to know? The difference is, before you start drinking, is illegal substance abuse. That there is a way, illegal substance abuse, that gets you to a place to where no matter how much you drink, no matter how gone you get, you wake up in the morning, you're fine.
Cocaine.
I wouldn't say
Xanax.
I wouldn't say any of those. I mean, that's not my place to say, especially on the internet. I mean, as a God-fearing,
What?
God-fearing,
Come on. Let's hear it. Like, okay,
man
what have your
of
friends
God.
What have your friends had to say about the best hangover cure?
Well, I would say about 4 body armors and about 3.5 cups of pineapple juice plus 1 bottle of water will cure you any day of the worst hangover you've ever had.
Why the pineapple juice?
Pineapple juice, it gets your system flowing. So I've heard. That could be bullshit. That could not be bullshit. Then again, you want to talk about some straight A alcoholics that chug nothing more than pineapple juice, more pineapple juice.
That's the one I want to fucking hear.
Hey, more pineapple juice than you want your woman to drink, for all the right reasons. They have drink more, only because they believe pineapple juice cleans your system more than the next greatest girlfriend you ever had. They guess what?
What?
They drank more pineapple juice.
Really?
Yes.
Well, see, my hangover cure is usually Denny's. I either order it or I fucking go to Denny's. I have about 4 or 5 beers, and then I drink water or fucking Gatorade for the rest of the day. But usually what happens is when I start feeling better, like hydrated, I just get back on the fucking train.
Now, is that because you want to prolong the drunk?
No,
Or
since
to-
I feel so shitty that it's like. But then, then when I start drinking more, I just like it fixes it. It just fucking fixes it.
Because you prolong the hangover.
I know I did, but then
You rather
after 2 days of prolonging the hangover, by the
It
third
hits you.
the third day,
Eventually.
like a fucking Monday comes around, and it's just like, oh fuck, like I can't drink this morning, and I can't fucking get rid of my hangover, so I just have to fucking eat it, and I'm like dehydrated, like 2 days worth of dehydration, like 2 days worth of like fucking putting liquor in my system, like eating nothing but greasy food, and then it's like Monday sucks, Tuesday I feel great, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, then by Friday night I'm like, let's fucking party, bitch, let's fucking do my podcast, like, you know what I mean? So
All day long. So what usually I do is, let's say we party all Friday night. Come Saturday morning,
Okay, let's hear it.
right? We drink 3-4 beers, get a fat buzz, chase the hangover away.
Yeah.
You gotta eat your as much as greasy and nasty, goddamn loving Mexican and or good time South American food. I mean, I'm talking biscuits, gravy, name it. Either enchiladas, tacos, biscuits and gravy, or
Okay.
or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Any old school home timey meal. You take that and you drink nothing but water till about 12:45, 1 o'clock.
Okay.
From then on, you drink nothing but beer for the next day. All day long, you drink beer. Next morning, you wake up, you're hammered.
Okay.
You drink a Pedialyte, you drink a glass of orange juice, and you're set for the next 72 hours.
Wow. Fuck yeah, dude.
And that is not down to science. That is not down to what the government tells you. And that is not down to whatever your mama tells you.
You can't find that on the AA
You
website.
You cannot find that on your AA website. You find that on the AA podcast, Alcoholic Anonymous's website. Do you know why?
Why?
Because people like you and I understand that.
Yeah, I get it, man.
Nothing
I mean,
more, nothing less.
Yeah.
The AA website, guess what they tell you? Stop drinking, drink more water.
Yeah.
Guess what? You're going to feel like shit for a long, long time.
You got to ease yourself off of it. Yeah,
Exactly.
Like, and that actually goes perfect into what I wanted to tell you was like I was recently. Do you like Dr. Drew? Do you know who that is?
No.
Okay, so he used to do this like celebrity rehab show, but he also has a podcast. And he was saying that, you know, when you feel like shit the next day after drinking, do you know why that really is? It's not the dehydration. What it really is your body going into alcohol withdrawal. Because alcohol is such a deadly like substance that it's the only substance that you try for the first time and you feel like shit the next day and your body immediately goes into withdrawal. So you fucking heroin for like a week or 2 weeks and then like you try to quit, your body like starts like deteriorating and it fucking freaks out on itself and it's like I just need more heroin. But like alcohol does that in a day. Like that's fucking
Really?
Yeah. So when you feel like shit the next day and you're like, fuck, like I just feel like I just drank too much last night. Part of that is dehydration. Another part of that is your body's going in alcohol withdrawal. Now, there's a difference between alcohol withdrawal and alcohol dependency, which is someone like we might know with the shaky shakes. And that is the worst when your body becomes dependent, because if you don't keep drinking, you will have seizures, you will have the shakes, you will fucking cold sweats, like if you don't quit drinking. And so that's the difference between alcohol addiction and alcohol abuse. You might abuse alcohol, get fucked up, have a hangover, and drink several times a week. But if you drink every day hard as fuck, you are going to have alcohol dependency, and that's when you fucking die, when you don't have a drink. And that shit is fucking nuts, dude. Like, I could not imagine having to live with that. You know what I mean?
I understand. I will say, we've been around for a long, long time. Guess what? Humans been around longer than alcohol dependency.
Yes.
Been around in the verbal saying. I personally think that as long as somebody wants to drink, let them drink. Other than that, as soon as they become fully dependent on it, well, shit to say, that's their own business. I mean, I'm no doctor.
No, I'm not sitting here saying they shouldn't.
I'm 100% agreeing with you.
Yeah.
But guess what? The alcohol dependency is a terrible thing. But alcohol withdrawal is something that can be fixed. Is that something that it takes a personal level to fix? alcohol dependency. Now that's something that can't be fixed. That takes
Rehab.
rehab, exactly.
Yeah. No, it takes a bunch of specialists. You know, you should finish that. You try this. It's fucking good. It takes a certain level of, I guess, discipline and actually just asking for help. Because at that point, I think anyone who has alcohol dependency needs help. And you know what? I drink a lot, but I've never had the fucking shakes. Thank the Lord, the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Thank that dude. Like, I just don't ever want to get to that point in my life. You know what I mean?
It happens.
It happens, but
Happens to the best of us, and it drowns out for the worst of us.
you have a friend that we know who we're talking about, but we don't have to say his name. You said I asked you. You and I FaceTimed each other a couple nights ago, and I said, "Thank God, don't have the fucking shakes." And you're like, "I was like, do you know anyone who does?" And you're like, "Yeah,
Yes.
yeah." Like, tell me like what your experience is with just fucking watching him. Like, how scary is that, dude? Like,
Not at all.
it's not scary.
Nope. Because this man, he has shakes. But then again, he is my brother as much as you're my brother.
But I love what you told me. Like,
And-
so like this is what. Sorry to interrupt you, but this is
Go
what,
ahead. Go ahead.
This is what you and the twins said. You were like, you're like, we all know he's going soon. Like he's not gonna have a long life. And I was like, fuck, that's so sad. I hope people don't say that about me, man. Like, fuck.
Brother, we all do say it about you.
I bet you do, man.
Not at all. I'll say this. Our brother Felipe, and I will say his name.
Is that who Felipe is?
Shut the fuck up. I will say.
because you wanna.
Yes. Let me
Was
explain.
was that story about Felipe earlier?
Shut-
Was that about?
Hey, that's none of your business. It's my story to tell. Our brother Felipe, God-fearing, most humble man you ever known. At a young age, was destined to drink good. He loves Patron, and there's nothing more I can say about that. That man will do anything for you, whoever's listening, and anyone, anybody, and anything to the end of his days. But that man was
Felipe
taught it.
Brian Valdez.
Please.
Okay, keep going. I'm sorry.
Felipe will do anything for anybody to the end of his days. Well, he learned from an early age drinking is good. And Patron called his name at an early age.
Okay.
Therefore, it doesn't affect him like the rest of us. You drink a bottle of Patron, I drink a bottle of Patron. Well,
I fuck for days, bro. If I drink a bottle of Patron, I'll fuck for days.
you're gone for days. I'm gone for days as well. Felipe, well, that takes nothing but a 12-pack of Dos Equis to get over.
Oh man, even having a 12-pack is like an accomplishment for me. Like I can't do it all the time. Like I really can't. Like it fucks me. Like I'm just like I have too much just hiccups for hours and shit. Fuck the 12-pack.
Ole, vato, ole. Once you start hanging, you can't not hang.
I got you, but like
If
God,
anybody
fuck that.
understands that, if you can't hang, you don't hang.
Yeah, but fuck that. But anyway, so Felipe, like you've witnessed him having the shakes after multiple days.
I will say, 18-pack a day.
Every day?
I wouldn't say every day. I would say an 18-pack, because I know he's gonna listen to this after.
Fucking
Felipe, I love him.
I can't wait to have Felipe on the podcast. By the way, him and I talked about that.
He's the next person on the podcast.
Will you set that up for me?
Him and I will be here on the next.
Okay,
podcast.
man. Fuck yeah.
Felipe and I have been through some shit.
You're talking to the microphone.
Oh shit, my bad.
You're good, man. You're good, man.
Felipe and I have been through some shit.
Yeah.
But Felipe and I mean, all through up in West Coast, East Coast, none of that bullshit. All of that bullshit. I've seen him drink 18-pack in the morning, 18-pack at night.
Fuck.
No problem by himself. When I say 18-pack, I mean He's drinking an 18 pack in the morning, ends with an 18 pack at night with a couple of banquets.
Fucking Patrons in between.
Couple Patron shots and a Dos Equis in between with
Dude.
Coors banquets also in between, all day long.
Hey, do you have like a worst hangover story you've ever had?
No.
You never had like the worst
Nope.
fucking really?
Hangover and I have always been medicated, so Hangover and I are just damn well okay. I mean, the worst hangover I ever had lasted about an hour and a half, and that's a medicated hangover.
The worst hangover I had was 3 days.
3 days. Would you stay up all night or something?
I did this at your house one time. No,
I know. That's why
it was. I mean, I must have had a 12-pack to myself.
18 pack to yourself.
Probably
at least a 12 pack to yourself.
A bottle of sake.
Easily.
And then half a bottle of whiskey.
You're drinking the Japan shit.
And then also I had several bottles of soju.
And if I remember correctly, I gave you whiskey.
Yes, you did.
I gave you whiskey.
What it was is you gave me tequila.
I gave you whiskey tequila mix, just to get you over the edge.
Oh my god, dude!
Because I know you're a hard ass.
I am.
But if you're a hard ass coming to my house, well, you might as well be drunk.
Dude, it was 3 days long. My hangover. I got so fucked up. I was drinking for 12 hours straight.
Well, 12 hours straight plus a 15-day worth of beer drink, plus another 12 hour of straight whiskey drink. I don't blame you.
Dude, it was a 3-day fucking event, and
it was at least a 3-day event. We partied nonstop, day till night.
Oh,
till
dude,
night
it was just
today.
fucked. It was so fucked. And then thank God, I did that on a Friday night, and then by fucking
Sunday you were gone.
But by Monday, I still was not at 100%. Bad? It's good? Okay, good. What's it called? You ever think about getting stone cold sober one day?
What do you mean?
Just no drinking, no fucking anything.
That's
you ever think
every
about
day
that
during
shit?
the week. I don't drink during the week.
No,
Weekend,
but what I mean by stone cold sober is never having another drop in your life. Do you ever think about doing that?
once I have kids,
That's what my same answer is. That once I have kids, I feel like fuck.
I feel like once you have kids, you have an entirely another set of responsibilities on you. But before you have kids, whether you are 18
Yeah.
or you're 25, shit, give you 30. I'll give the pass to 30. Let's say you don't have kids between 18 and 30.
Yeah.
Obviously, in Ohio, the consent age is 17, so I'm going to give you 18.
Okay.
18 to 21. Let's say you have no kids. The second you turn 21, you have kids. Well, shit. You have to wipe not only your own ass, you have to wipe your kid's ass.
I agree.
And personally, at an age of 24, I can't believe somebody in my state of conscience can wipe their own ass, much less a kid's ass.
I'm 24 and I can't fucking do it.
I mean, you can't do it, but I know for a fact there's people at 16-year-old that are raising their own kids, and that's having a kid, and I can do nothing else but respect them, because guess what? They have nothing else but more balls than I ever would.
You know the last podcast I did? She had a kid at 15.
Good.
And dude, she graduated high school too.
Hardcore
Did
as
all-
fuck, metal as fuck, and I nothing but respect her. What a bad bitch, personally. What a bad some bitch. But personally, I can't believe in that.
Sip that last one. It's fucking strong.
I can't believe in that because I know I can hardly wipe my own ass, much less my kid's ass,
Yeah.
much less have my wife to deal about it
Yeah.
and all.
Let me ask you this. So I guess you want kids eventually, right? You want a couple kids, maybe
Yeah.
1 or 2.
28, 29.
Yeah, me is like 30. I want to start trying to have kids at 30.
I wouldn't blame you. 30 is a good age. I mean, my parents had me when they're about 30. But the thing is, the difference, I would love to have my kids at 30, but the difference is I want my kids to have grandparents. I was lucky enough to have grandparents as a kid, and my grandparents told me plenty. And my grandparents told me a lot about life, more than my parents did. They may not have said it in the most radical and most paradoxical way,
Yeah.
of the most in the times way of saying this, and that was equal in the ways that I learned at the time.
Yeah.
But I would rather them have told me X, Y, Z in their terms than me growing older and have to learn X, Y, Z in the terms of my my generation or the future generations. I would rather have learned the ways that my parents learned and their parents learned X, Y, Z than what my school taught me X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
Because personally, I believe that all things are different. No matter if you go back a year or 5 years.
Yeah.
Everything's different. And that's nothing more than just generational gap.
Can I actually have you, maybe the right word would be like open up to me about tell me about your mom's dad and tell me about your dad's dad. Let's start with your dad's dad.
My dad's dad.
Yeah, tell me about this guy.
Well, from my hometown, my dad's dad,
In Ohio.
long story short,
Yeah.
sheriff. Long story short, my dad's dad was a sheriff. My dad was a Ozzy Osbourne, hell yeah, motherfucker.
Okay.
Listened to my grandfather to a certain degree and realized that, guess what? Not everything is what you seem.
Yeah.
At least from what I can pick up. Of course, a father's son is never exactly what a father's son is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Couldn't complain. An Ozzy Osbourne motherfucker is a rock hard, party hard motherfucker.
That was your dad's dad? He was like that a little bit?
That's my father.
Oh, yeah, but like I'm talking about your grandfather.
My grandfather was a cop. Should I say
A sheriff. Yeah, yeah.
A sheriff from the 50s to the 70s. You can only imagine what that would impose on a son.
Yeah.
And
Do you think it affected your dad in a way by him being
it
a sheriff?
affected my dad in a way of
Can I say something real quick?
Let me say one thing.
Okay, yeah, go for it. Yeah.
And this is a called to where my grandfather was a kid. It was called a rebel yell. And that stems from, obviously, even way before him, Jimmy Dean, Rebel Without a Cause. It was from probably our grandfather's time.
Yeah.
And their father. It's a rebel without a cause. It's a protest to the, I wouldn't say the man, but
stick it to the man kind of fucking vibe. Yeah.
It's a stick it to the man, to the vibe. Long before it was stick it to the man. It was stick it.
Right before it was like Woodstock and all that fucking shit.
It was 20 years before that. It was stick it to the to your father. It was stick it to your father because your father doesn't understand you. And it was Jimmy Dean or not Jimmy Dean, James Dean, Rebel Without a Cause. It was a big thing in the 50s. Huge thing in the 50s. It was Greasers. If you ever seen the movie Grease.
Or even if you ever do you remember this?
Happy Days.
Do you remember that watching Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull?
Yes.
Like, get that greaser. Like those fucking people. Yeah.
Even in the modern day, you watch Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull. It was get that greaser versus get that preppy kid.
Yeah.
That all stems from James Dean, a bad son of a bitch, versus what was the social norm, and that has gone on forever.
Yeah.
It happened in the 50s with James Dean, 60s all the way with what's the movie called? Grease.
Yeah. Okay.
60s, 70s, Grease, all the way, and then much. Here's to you, Pony Boy.
Oh, fucking the Outsiders. Yeah.
Outsiders in the 80s. All the way. It's all the you versus the man.
Yeah.
And that's nothing more. And that inverts to our grandparents. Your grandparents, my grandparents, people who are listening, their grandparents. That was the rebel yell back in the day.
Yeah. Well, like what I was gonna say. So like your grandfather, your dad's dad, was a sheriff, and I could only imagine. It would be almost like growing up with a pastor, as a pastor's kid, where you want to listen to the music that the pastor doesn't agree with. You want to live like a normal kid, like in the way that the pastor wouldn't agree with. And I would think that would be almost the same way as a sheriff's kid. It's like in that town, your dad has to fucking behave a certain way. He has to fucking do X, Y, and Z a certain way.
100%.
And then that only makes the kid,
More
meaning
pressure.
your dad,
100%.
want to rebel more. Which is exactly what you're saying. Is like fight the man, fight the power. You know what I mean? And so like your grandfather was a sheriff, and obviously he had a reputation in that area. And so I bet your dad raised a lot of hell. If anything, I don't know.
Hey, I'll give you some stories.
Can I hear a couple? Yeah, I would love to.
Of course, because
Cheers, by the way.
Hey, cheers.
I mean, thank you for doing this. I know this isn't easy for you.
Of course. I mean, I'd love to explain, but I hate to explain. I mean, as growing up, you hear your grandfather's tales, but you never believe them. And
they're like legend at that point. You know what I mean?
Might as well be Paul Bunyan.
Yeah.
It might as well be Paul Bunyan or such.
I gotta take a piss real quick. Give me a second,
right.
Okay? Ha 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 ha. You asked me to pause it earlier. Okay. So your dad was at the Bernie Lake, and he was taking a couple shots, and then he ends up at the Bernie Square downtown. Okay, then what happened after that?
So, whole Bernie Square,
Okay.
totally blocked off. Saw horses all the way around.
Like those fucking roadblocks. Is that what we're talking about, right?
Basically roadblocks. All
Yeah, it's
the
like
way
the
around.
two triangles with a line between them. Like those
Yeah.
fucking things. Yeah,
And this
fuck
is
yeah,
probably
man.
83, 84.
Yeah.
Totally squared off. This is after the KKK. Therefore, KKK, Ku Klux Klan, which nobody supported back in the day.
I did.
I mean, you do you.
I'm just fucking with you, man. Yeah, continue.
Back in the day, they had the whole town square, everything blocked off.
Okay.
Next thing he knows, he's drunk at the whole town square. Next thing you know, Casey at 12 wires him up.
Yeah, case at 12 wires them up. Yeah, fuck
Case
yeah.
at 12 starts asking people, hey, who's gonna go in there? Who's gonna do this? Who's gonna do that?
Yeah. You gotta try that drink, by the way. It's fucking fantastic.
Long as it's non-alcoholic beverage.
Oh, it's got a heavy amount of electrolytes in it. So you're
Perfect,
yeah.
perfect.
Did you already finish your virgin pina colada?
That pina colada is still whipping gold in my mouth.
It's good, right?
So he gets wired up,
yeah.
head to toe, speakers and all. He goes to one point in the line, and he picks up one sawhorse. And if you know what a sawhorse is,
Yeah, the fucking roadblock things that we just talked about. Yeah.
yeah, basically
Yeah.
picks it up, and I'll be damned if not 30. And this is from my grandfather's point of view. As county sheriff, picks it up and just doof, 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 doof.
All of them fell down.
They about 25 sawhorses to his right, 25 sawhorses to his left, falls down. And he took one step into the middle of downtown square. And he said, next thing he looks is about 15 cops tackle his ass, put him to the ground, all kinds of bloody hell break loose, all kinds of shit, this and that. My great-grandmother, Grandma Rose, she's watching. She's watching on the TV, watching my father get tackled on Main Street Live.
Yeah.
And let's just say he spent a couple nights in jail.
I would love to look up this fucking record.
Yeah.
It's so fucking hard. If I were able to find that and read it to you, would you fucking be willing to listen to that on the podcast?
Hell no.
Oh man, it'd be fucking funny as shit.
It'd be great up until the fucking report came out and saw I can't even say it. Intrepidard fought the KKK at the Bernie convention in Bernie, Texas.
Okay. Let's move on for a second. So we just kind of went on a spiel about your dad's dad. What about your mom's dad? What can you say about that guy?
Well, my mother's father died about 2014 at the age about 64.
64 is a young age to die, man.
64 is a young age to die about. I mean, think.
What did he die from?
Diabetes with
infection, right?
Yes, exactly.
Staph infection. I think it was.
Yes, you're 100. We talked about this.
Yeah.
Staph infection with diabetes. That's what becomes of you if you become a loner your entire life.
What are some of the best stories that you can tell about him?
I would say as a young man, I wouldn't even say as a young kid.
Do you remember Raul?
As a young kid, my mother's father was a huge prankster to my mother, her sister, and a lot of their grandkids.
Yeah.
He'd pretend that one time he'd pretend that working on his boat and working on his shop because he had a massive shop.
Yeah.
Sliced his hand open.
I know.
I
know this fucking story.
Sliced his hand open, believing that his whole family thought that his hand was sliced.
I know this fucking story.
From clear to clear, and had a rag that he painted red
Yeah.
So we all thought as a young kid, at least me, that he had sliced his hand open. He told me and all my young cousins to run to their mothers, saying that he chopped off all his fingers. So there we are as young kids, screaming and hollering to our mothers that his hands and his showing us 3 fingers, not whole 5.
Yeah.
Whole faking that he had 2 fingers left, chopped off his whole hand to our mothers, running back screaming, bloody murder, that his hand had been chopped off.
What a great man.
Excellent man. Hilarious. that his fingers had been totally chopped off. So
Yeah.
there I am at 9 years old, running to my mother's room, screaming that our papa has all his fingers chopped off, and my mother running out of her house screaming that her father has all
No fucking fingers. Yeah.
no
basically.
fingers anymore.
Yeah.
Screaming bloody murder, calling 911, EMS, all the things you can imagine, that his fingers chopped off.
Yeah.
And he sat underneath his boat for about 3.5 hours, nothing but laughing his ass off. Thought it was the funniest.
That's the GOAT. This fucking greatest of all time, man.
Thought it was
Yeah.
the funniest thing in the world, seeing his daughters and his grandkids freaking out. Thought he lost all his fingers. To the very end, he was the most jokester motherfucker you ever did meet. To the day he died, he thought he was the funniest guy you ever met. Whether it was losing all his toes to the day he died, or losing all his fingers, he thought it was nothing more than the funniest joke in the world.
You know, one of my greatest regrets in life were with your grandfather, I never went to go see him in the hospital before he died.
See, that is some people's greatest regrets.
And it's also
Never seeing their grandfather in the
but
hospital.
also seeing them is also their greatest regret.
I saw one. I saw my mother's father in the hospital, died of diabetes. Diabetes, of all things. One of the most curable things in the world. Was a loner to the end.
Just fucking cut out sugar, right?
Loner to the end. Cut off everything. Cut off his family. Said, guess what? If I die, I die. He died. Years later, so my father's dad died. And I said, you know what? I would never refuse a grandparent to die without me seeing him. And the biggest regret I ever saw him do was to die with me seeing him. Because your grandfather, your lover, your father, your best friend, die is nothing like you knew him. My grandfather died nothing like I knew him. And my other grandfather died nothing like I knew him. One died with me seeing him, and one died without me seeing him.
Yeah.
And both were my biggest regrets. Seeing him die,
And
the
then
other one was-
also not being there when he died.
And not being-
that was a huge
one-
regret for you, right?
terrible regret. One seeing him die, and the other one not seeing him die. It
Yeah.
was terrible because you either pick seeing your loved ones die a tube-filled death,
Yeah.
or you imagine your hero dying. And it's neither a place for both,
Yeah.
but it's a place for nothing but self-reflectance. Because guess what? If you self-reflectant, nothing but Jesus, oh Lord our Savior, can save you. But guess
Yeah.
what? Because He is the one and He is the only.
Yeah, man, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, like,
100%.
one of my greatest regrets is that I didn't see my mom's dad right before I died, and actually, her and I went to the hospital a day before, and they were actually bathing him. They said, "Can you just come back tomorrow? That'd be better for us." And a lot of my siblings had not been coming to the hospital to go see him because he'd already been in the hospital so many times. And then we just been dodging. Like, it's like, oh, he's just gonna make it through, you know. And it was the day before he died, and me and my mom went to the hospital to go visit him, and they were just like, yeah, he's bathing. Like, we can't do it now. Why don't you come back tomorrow? It'll be okay. And
There is no tomorrow.
that was the day. The next day was the day he died, and I'm happy because of the time before he was still out of it. I didn't
Recognize that that age.
It was just like that wasn't my grandfather. He was just so.
My grandfather died years before
Yeah.
what he became in the hospital. Is all I understood as a kid.
And I just visited him, and he's, hey Jake, like, what's up? I'm like, I'm okay. Like, he's like, try to make conversation. He's in pain, obviously, and I didn't feel comfortable even talking to him. It was just kind of like I wanted to get out of the room. I know that sounds very fucked up, cause just hearing him, like, it made me sad to see him and the way he was, and I was just like I could just kind of just wanted to grab my mom's hand and be like, let's get the fuck out of here because I don't want to see this. And then, the next day or the next time we went to go to the fucking hospital, my mom's like, yeah, I'm here to see my dad, and I was so nervous to see him because the last time I saw him,
He was tubes.
he was just tubes, and he just looked so bad, and I was just like, I felt so nervous to see him, but I was almost there for my mom. Like, my mom was almost like, do you want to come see my dad? I was like, yeah. And when they said, we're bathing him right now, so now's not a good time, why don't you come back tomorrow? I was almost happy because I didn't want to see him like that anymore. And it made me uncomfortable. Does that make sense, Logan? 100%. I mean, a Butch. It didn't fucking matter, dude. Does that make sense?
At the end of the day, there's two things you gotta realize. Is you either realize that one is your grandfather, the other is him as an old man.
Yeah. But he wasn't even an old man. Let's just be real. Like, come on.
You either live old enough to become an old man,
yeah,
or you die an old man.
That's like, what is that fucking cheesy line from Batman where he's like, you either live enough, become the villain, or whatever.
Yes,
whatever
100%.
It is.
You either live long enough to become the villain, or you are the villain.
Yeah, or you die,
like
whatever
100%.
Whatever the fuck it is. But it's that Dark Knight fucking
It's
shit.
the Dark Knight brouhaha. But guess what? At the end of the day, it's true. Either you die an old man, or you all are an old man. And your grandfather and my grandfather, guess what? They both lived to be that old man. I understand. Our grandfathers may not been the same.
Well, like,
they both lived a long enough, not a life. They both, as much as you may not be okay with it, I'm okay with my grandfather living a life long enough to be accepted, because I know my grandfather died a life of nothing more than hell and then salvation.
Can I ask you a question?
Of course.
Do you think Papa went to heaven?
No.
You don't think so?
To the day he died, he was a crooked old man.
Do you know, like, one of my last conversations with my mom that she
No.
had with him?
No, I do not.
She,
Because, Jake,
No, seriously. Like, this is serious.
As much as you live in, I mean,
No, like-
Yankee. Hey, as much as you live in my thoughts, as my third cousin.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
I know. There's place for
but-
sinners, and
but-
there's a place.
But you haven't heard what I'm about to say.
I know
But
for a fact.
they're just continue. No, we're gonna continue. Come on. No, yes, continue, fucker. We're not gonna hit pause. I'm about to cry. Okay, come on. Come on.
You pause that.
I'll pause it.
You pause.
Come on.
I accepted to fucking talk shit about everybody but our family.
No,
Jake.
I'm not here to talk about shit about our family.
Jake,
I'm here to get fucking.
your grandfather on when we say Papa.
Yeah.
No, I don't believe so. Only
Do
for one
you know one of
reason.
the last conversations my mom had with them?
What? Please tell me.
I'm just saying. It was.
Please tell me.
Dad, do you accept Jesus Christ into your heart? And he said yes.
Good.
And he said, do you believe in the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit? He said yes. And he said, and my mom said, do you believe like everything that you've ever done can be wiped away by the blood that
Yes.
Christ has shed? And he said yes. And then she said, my mom said, like after everything that you've ever done that's wrong in this life, like, do you think that you're better? And do you think that through the blood of Jesus Christ, do you think that like all of your sins have been cleared? And he said yes. And then he died like a fucking couple days later. So, man,
I believe so.
I
believe so.
If he said that,
If that is the goddamn truth, I believe it.
okay, yeah,
I believe it.
That's all that matters.
My mother never told me anything.
No. Like my mom has had those conversations with Papa, and
My mother didn't tell me shit about Papa.
No. Anyway,
You're 100% right. No, I 100% agree. Because the worst part of my family, and I don't want this to be put on.
it's not even recording.
No, I know. But I know this will never be recorded.
It's not gonna be
Guess what?
recorded.
But guess what? They will. My parents, they just don't. They just don't. I don't know how to other explain it. They rather fucking hide in a hole than ever explain it. And I resent them for that.
Okay, tell me about this.
Jake, my mother and my father, they love it. They love it.
They love
speak
what?
Jesus.
Jesus?
Jesus, all the way to the end. I mean, they spent years. Slovakia, Slovenia, Croatia.
Yeah.
Fucking all that goddamn bullshit.
Yeah.
But truly in my heart,
I'm listening.
I don't think they believe it. You know what that makes me do?
What does that make you?
Maybe we give this a shot. I don't know. I got you. I don't know. I know what I know. They know what they know. And is that my business? No?
It's not.
No, you're goddamn right. Hey, you want more?
Okay, come on. I didn't say that. No. I didn't ask that. Come on.
Yeah. Dude, you're racist.
I am racist. Let's talk about this on the podcast.
You're lucky I don't have. Hey, Jake.
Yeah.
I can't even say it without laughing. You're lucky the fucking white movement group ain't here. I don't even know what to say. You're lucky the fucking national group ain't here.
That's right, sir.
You take that chug, but every chug you take is a fucking national bitch.
He's very fucked up, guys. I apologize about that.
Yeah,
Yeah. This is my podcast. This is my show. If you don't fuck with Christy, man, it's time you gotta go. If you wanna drink, let me pour a little mo. I just wanna fucking glow. I don't wanna take it slow. I was drinking at 11 fucking years old. I was playing G.I. Joe. I don't wanna fuck with hoes. I just wanna fucking flow, man. Mom saying she don't need a fucking alcoholic in the house. So Chelsea moved out, her apartment got loud. It was fucking going down, everybody fucking drowned. Everybody drinking Crown, everybody throw it down. Everybody love the sound, man. Ta, you fucking retard. I don't give a fuck if I'm going too hard. Pay for my dick with a fucking debit card. Christy bad as fuck, sucking dick up in a car. Said she got standards, it's fucking so bizarre. She don't like I'm soft, man, she fucking like I'm hard. Jesse play his part, but he's way beyond par, man, yeah. Whoa. This is alcohol. Whoa.
What the fuck, Jake, man, you got me fucking baked. You fucking alcoholic, man, I bet you got the shakes like a fucking earthquake, like a motherfucking shakes, yeah. Ta, you fucking retard. Ta, you fucking retard, yeah. Like it, share it, fuck it, drink it. This is Alcoholics Anonymous.
Like it, share it, fuck it, drink it. This is Alcoholics Anonymous.